everybody, Mary here. How are you doing? So, it's been several weeks since my last video update here on the channel and in general on social media. There have been things that have been happening and I'll give some updates on that in this video, but I figured that I would kill two birds with one stone, pardon the expression. But basically, the topic of this video is going to talk about things that you can do if your job ends unexpectedly, be it that, say, you're laid off, or a project that you might have been working on is no longer happening, and things that you can do to position yourself for success in that next opportunity. Please click the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on any videos that we do on this channel. So just want to give some updates. The last several weeks, a lot of changes. Foremost, it's been that the client that I've been working with for the last year, they ended my contract engagement unexpectedly. So it's just been a few weeks now. And, for those of you who know me, I wear a few different hats. I'm certainly a recruiter by profession, and certainly in the last few years have really focused too on career coaching. I pretty much work as my own business with different companies for various recruitment projects. And this project ended. I'm sort of surprised, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. It was planning to go on for a little bit, more, I should say. But given the climate of the market and just what's going on with many employers, are really trying to double down and minimize expenses for the work that has to be done. And in the line of work that I do, it's recruiting and bringing people on board for their organizations. And if they already have a team intact of people, a lot of times you have to reduce headcount. And I was a casualty of that. With that happening, while it was a little bit of a surprise and a disappointment, it was actually a good time, honestly, to be done. So, I was planning anyway in October to travel to, do public speaking at the Society for Women Engineers annual conference in Houston. I was accepted as a presenter, which was super exciting. And I did a session. It was a great honor because it was, like 14,000 women engineers all in one place. And I got to talk about career topics, which was really about building the team that will get you hired throughout your career. So it's very appropriate for what I'm going through at present. Instead of being upset about what happened and worried what is my next move, I did a lot of reflection, and there are certain tips that I definitely want to share with you if you're going through something like this. So the first thing is that it's important, if you've been laid off or your job ended or whatever the situation is, that you make sure that all of your marketing collateral, i.e. your resume, your LinkedIn, other documents and things, your portfolio, website, that they're up to date with your current status, things that you've accomplished on the role, and that, they're going to be ready to go for distribution, be it that you're applying to other jobs or that you're sharing it with a future employer or future client. You don't want to leave these things undone. I certainly take the time, the day or two or it's off if you need to just mentally recover, but make it very high on your agenda to update your documents with any of your best accomplishments, things that you achieved, things that really speak to your ongoing progress in your work. It is easy to just be like, oh, this is fine, I'll just change the dates. But really take a moment to do more than just that. Think about how experiences that you just finished up can add to whatever direction you're moving to in the future. So you do this not just for your resume, but you also do it for your LinkedIn profile if you have a website or a portfolio. Many people nowadays, when changes like this happen, they go right onto social and say, I'm looking for a job, and the universe is really receptive and helping and connecting. I know on LinkedIn, many people change their profile to show that they're open to opportunity. Certainly that's a great way. I know that you don't have to do that. I know myself, I don't feel fully comfortable just putting it out there, telling everyone this, because I'd rather share this information with people that are important to me, that have been there for me, career development wise, be it that they were a former manager or, someone who helped me with opportunities, or be it that it was with a former client that I worked directly with. So, whatever it is, have your background ready to go and communicate it with your people and the channels that you wish to. So number 2, it's a continuation of this communicating with who is in your network. And this is going to vary. So, this is actually kind of on topic with what I talked about at the conference, that you want to have people around you that can help you advance your career. And fortunately, I've worked over the last several years in identifying people who I trust either for career guidance, advice, people that I like to keep in touch with for opportunities that I can help them with, but they can help me too. And just sharing where I am, and that there's trust built in these relationships. Laid off from a job, that they come to your aid in terms of supporting you and trying to help you in whatever ways that they can. So, it's taken a number of years for me to build that kind of trust and relationship with people, but it's okay, if you haven't, start small. Think about people that have been helpful to you, either that they help connect you to opportunities, or maybe they themselves hire for certain things. Sometimes it's going to mean that you'll need to connect again with, say, like agency recruiters, if you've worked with them in the past, or whoever helped you get your last job. You want to do that kind of quickly when you're ready to. I know for myself, I didn't really tell people right away and start applying and doing stuff for jobs. I just wanted to take a little bit of time off and synthesize what had happened to me. So that leads me to number 3. So what you say to people, really this is indicative of what are you looking for? What do you want to share with people? So you have to be ready to go to talk about, how your employment or your contract ended, the circumstances, what you've learned from it, of course, but also clarifying what exactly you're looking for in your next opportunity. That's going to take some searching, because a lot of times people think, oh, it's easy, I just want a full-time job that I like. But is it just that you usually want to take this opportunity to think about what could you do differently to make it even better an experience for you? If that means that you want a little more flexibility in your next opportunity, make sure that that's what you're advocating for and looking for. Or if you're like me, I'm pretty open to whatever that looks like. It could be a full-time job, even though I haven't really worked as a direct employee of an organization in many years. I've always just contracted or had my own business. I like the structure of full-time work, but at the same time, I like the autonomy and the independence. I'm looking at a few different ways of what I'd like to do in my next opportunity. And it's all driven by my desire, as is, how much money I'm making, of course, but it's also what am I doing? What impact? Am I going to have enough time for myself and my family to enjoy, or am I just going to be working like a dog, So these are all things that we don't really take a minute for reflection, and you should. So once you figure out your list of what you definitely have to have, next opportunity, communicate that with these people, okay? And look for opportunities that appear to fit what you're looking for. And then the last thing that I will say is, it's really important to know that these things take time. Unfortunately, we want to have a positive outcome as quickly as possible, right? We often forget how valuable the journey can be and what kind of time and gifts and other kinds of positive things that are given to us in this time, of being laid off, that we don't necessarily value because we're so fixated on getting back to being employed. Creating the right kind of opportunity for what I do next and looking for opportunities that seem to fit, everything from what I'm doing to the people that are involved, but realize it may not happen overnight. So be okay with being patient and then doing what you need to do to help meet the bills and to get through those things on the practical ends of things. It's okay if you're not landing your dream job right after you've been laid off and it takes some time. It's okay. You just keep working at applying, and if you have to get a second job or do something to make bills and money, then do it. It's okay. Plenty of people do it. No one's going to look down on it or think that it's bad, and if they do, they just aren't your people. These kind of changes take time, and certainly they happen to everyone. It's okay to be more gentle with yourself, even though you're being very consistent in your actions. So be nice to yourself, because it's not an easy time to be unemployed or not knowing what you're going to do when the job market is crazy and unpredictable and a little bit scary at times. So I would love to know if any of you are going through, job loss, being laid off. What has worked for you? Please let me know. Comment below. Would love to hear from you. Thanks again, everyone. Would love to hear from you. Take care.